The Dakota Access Pipeline is designed to carry oil underground across 1,172 miles in 4 states: North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, and Illinois. The Native American community and other advocates have been strongly positioned against the pipeline for environmental and health reasons. The pipeline also threatens sacred Native American burial sites and historical lands. Protests erupted across our nation, and this fight eventually became an international movement. But there's a larger message behind these protests.
Hematakiapi, Leampik Tukile, Iyo Hachanteye, Washteye Napik Chuziapie, Imachiapi, Wakiantuampi, Iyo Yampawi, Imachiapi, Chante Makieloi. We had a very strategic, very strong, very organized camp. Because she is the next generation. And that is the reason why we are out at Ocheti Shakoi. That is the reason why we continue to fight for the sacredness in front of us. That's why we continue to protect Mother Nature, Unchimaka. Because there are 7 generations in front of us. And today we are that 7th generation. We are standing up. We are awakening. We are rising.
According to the Center of Biological Diversity, there's been nearly 8,000 incidents involving damaged pipelines, resulting in more than 500 deaths, more than 2,300 injuries, and nearly $7 billion in damage since 1986. Pipeline accidents have spilled an average of 76,000 barrels per year. That's more than 3 million gallons. That's 200 barrels per day.
That's not an issue of justice. It's not an issue of what's fair and right. It's an issue of who has the most power. How does this system that was set up to privilege a certain percentage, not even just about race, but also about class. The system was set up to benefit these groups of people, and those who are not part of that group that doesn't benefit. You build an entire economy based off of the robbery of labor from one continent and the stealing of land from another, and then you benefit from it. And when these voices now are asking for a piece of the pie and asking for to be included at the table, they're once again marginalized and displaced, that their voice no longer matters in this situation. The Dakota Access Pipeline is only one example of what happens every day. This happens, the same situation of this imperialistic model happens in our healthcare, it happens in our land and treaty rights, it happens in education, and it's a system that is just, it's unjust. It causes poverty, it causes health problems, and we need to do something about it. Are we going to be this country and this nation that relies purely on coal and oil and some of these natural resources, but how do we look into some alternative, more sustainable ways? Because it's not just about the pipeline, it's about our consumption of oil. If we were to think past, think past using these unrenewable resources and look into things like solar, wind, things that are more sustainable, we'll have a better shot at passing on a better world for our generations, which we have to think about. We always have to think about those 7 generations unborn. We have to think about what kind of world will my kids be living in? What kind of water will they be drinking? What kind of air will they be breathing?
You don't need to be a voice for the voiceless. You just need to pass the mic. It's not about protesting a pipeline. It's about honoring the treaties.
Dapl security, they're on top of a giant mountain that is where their ancestors are buried, the Native Americans.
The natives want to go and hold a peaceful prayer circle on the other bank. This is land that is theirs per the Laramie Treaty of 1851. This is a sacred burial site. But also, they're saying it's Army Corps of Engineer lands, which means on multiple levels what's happening here is illegal. This is a militarized police force up against an unarmed, peaceful prayer for people.
I feel like I'm watching the salt mine protest with Gandhi. I mean, these people are in the water, they're freezing to death. This water is not warm.
I couldn't feel my legs. I had to get out or I was about to pass out.
The cops that are coming in on those boats over there have actual bullets.
This was an opportunity to allow our youth to reach into their roots, to reach to their ancestors, to embrace their cultural identities, and sculpt themselves into the future leaders and the next generation. Educate yourself, educate others, have a problem with racism, resist, and speak up.